Well, hello to my vlog. I'm pretty much picking up 3 days after the last vlog. If you hear somebody being antsy next to me, it's that girl. Again, I'm just trying to be normal and get better and vlog my normal life. So I really don't have plans, but we got to start somewhere. And we're starting off with this bag because I'm so obsessed. Again, full credit to Coco Schiffer and Carrie Neatglass formerly of Looks Like Carrie. This is a piece that I was inspired by, first of all, obsessed over, that Carrie has a version of, I believe, or it looks very similar regardless. And then Coco posted something about this style bag, and your girl, obviously obsessive me, went on the craziest rabbit holes, went on the craziest rabbit hunts down many rabbit holes. Does that make sense? Not sure. But this is my favorite one. I have 2 or 3 more coming, and I'm so excited. This is a vintage Japanese kimono made into a bag style called an obi bag. And I am, like, quite frankly on the floor. You guys can help me possibly in today's vlog, maybe not. But when I get the other ones, I will be choosing one for myself, obviously, but I already am getting attached to this one because it's just so beautiful. And I have sold my 2 gold bags at this point, and it's really pretty. So I might wear it tonight. I actually have some pieces to bring with me this evening, but I just got word that I actually might not have those pieces ready for this evening. So this would have been perfect to do a little, like, you know, fun, bring all of my pieces in, but still have a cute bag, size-wise. So I'll let you know what bag I actually choose, but I had to show this one first because I'm, like, quite literally obsessed. It is so spacious, so roomy. This is the most, like, bright, shall we say, one. And then the other 2 are much more subtle, but I just think this is such a special style. Again, I just, like, please, you guys, let me know. I should talk to my cousin who's half Japanese and half Moroccan. And please let me know if, like, I ever overstep a boundary. I really hope that we're in the realms of cultural appreciation because I am so just, like, dumbfounded by how beautiful this style is. And yeah, I hope that it's okay that I'm wearing this and incorporating a couple into my selection of lelasophia jewels. So you guys keep me humble and let me know. But anyways, this is where we're starting our vlog. I'm going to get a pedicure, so I figure we gotta do a little sandals action just to make things easy. Getting a pedicure, which I haven't had in probably months, I'm not gonna lie, probably some months. And then my mother and I are going to Asset. No, are we doing Asset? I forgot which one we actually landed on, but I think we're doing Asset on the Upper West Side, which is like Asian fusion. It's very good, and they have an octopus. I know I'm a vegetarian, but for some reason I eat cephalopods. Is that what they're called? That was kind of impressive. I eat octopus and calamari for some weird reason. I don't know. It's like the 2 things that I crave, so I eat them. And apparently they're like the most sustainable animals you can eat. I don't know. So they have the best octopus dish and the best vegetarian fried rice. So delicious. So we're going there. We're having a cute little girls' evening. I wish you could come everywhere with me, but yeah, we'll do a quick little dog walk. In a little bit, I have to time it with her bathroom, and then we will go to a pedicure. Do we hear the doggy? Do we hear the doggy dinner in the back? Okay. No one will ever be prepared for the yo-yo that is March and April in New York City, okay? The weather yo-yo. I tried to go out just now with my baby in a lighter jacket. It's so beautiful out. It's about to be 40 degrees. So what can you do? So I'm reverting back to my entire studio's jacket, even though I don't want to, but it's very cute at least. We're still doing toes out for pedicure. I'm gonna do my Peggy because I failed and my pieces aren't gonna be ready yet, but that's okay. So we're just taking normal stuff, and I switched my sunglasses to my Kate and Oliver Peoples because I feel like they go with this vibe a little bit better. I realized that I dress, anyways, I don't need to debrief this with you, but I had an entire, like, epiphany because I was really debating getting a black trench coat, and I was like, that might be too feminine. Like, I'm so feminine in my body that I realized that's the reason why I've always liked menswear, to kind of like balance me out, aka this jacket, basically every other jacket that I have. And I feel like these sunglasses are a really good masculine touch. Not to say that being overtly feminine is bad. I just love a balance because I'm always gonna be feminine in the body that I was given. So this is my masculine feminine take on a random Wednesday evening pedicure / dinner with my mom. Can you tell that I'm out of breath? Because I'm ready to go and I need to go. Just waiting on the little kid over there. Okay, we'll see you for real now. This is where Founder Diaries starts. I have to package all of this. I knew I would cover the light with my shadow, but I have to package all of this and all of this. And I have my assistant. And this is all going to Italy. But first it's being photographed. Oh my goodness. First it's being photographed. So we have to arrange, which is honestly my specialty. I have to figure out how to package the display items. And then it's taking a very long time, quite frankly, for me to figure out what pieces will actually be shot. Somebody's getting a good scratchy. So that I could kind of like permanently pack some stuff. Because it's having a double, we're having, all of my stuff will be having a couple different lives over the next couple weeks. First it's being photographed, then it's going to Italy, then it's going to Alcova, Milan, right? I wish we were going on a trip. So I'm gonna try my best and see. But yeah, the organization of it all and the jewelry packaging, that's where my expertise lies. So let's see how I do. But I had to show you guys first. Such a patient girl. I love you. Okay, I'd say that was mission successful. Successful? I think so. Sorry. Okay, that was my one stress. Now we're done. It's a curly hair day, which I shall straighten in a second, to be honest with you. Well, hello vlog. Okay, I realize now I'm actually like a little bit further away from you, so I shall talk a little louder. If you can't tell, I always feel like I get louder as every video and vlog goes by. That was Matthias's armadillo that you just heard squeak or honk. But hi, I was going to film last night, and then, you know me, I love to think of everything positively. I just feel like I'm being trained to be such an elite wife, okay? Not to say that what I'm about to describe is purely a wifely duty, but that's what I'm signing up for in my life, okay? And I'm down with it. I will take care of my households for the rest of my life. I walk in after Pilates. This happened right before the last clip that I saw, or that you saw. And I was like, why is my radiator making this noise? What is going on? Not like a normal radiator noise, like gurgling, spewing up water. Because of course, like, why wouldn't that happen? And my radiator is right next to Matthias's crate. I was so worried, but I think it had just started. I guess there's some type of term for it, but I clearly don't remember or care to look it up. That our building's boiler was like having a fit basically and leaking everywhere, and the pressure came up to my radiator because of course it did. And so basically we had a lovely little plumbing emergency last night. The radiator got shut off-ish, and then I just had the plumber here for quite literally 2 hours. And now it's like 3:30. And yeah, so that's like half of my day gone. I'm just waiting for the plumber and then waiting for the plumber to finish. And he was amazing and it was lovely. So yeah, again, just like really being prepared for playing house one day. Hopefully in this house, but you never know. And so that was my morning. And this vlog is kind of probably gonna go out later than I planned because of that, so I apologize. But I figure let's do a little updated makeup vibe because it's been a long time since I've done that. I realize I don't think I've done a makeup routine since August, which is 7 months, a little bit over maybe. So let's get into it because I've basically just been trying to literally make my makeup routine as simple as possible because 99.9% of the time I don't wear makeup these days. And so when I do wear makeup, we're always gonna love, you don't have to love it. I'm always going to love my normal lelasophia, like true black smoky eye, and I'm always gonna do that. I'm gonna incorporate that for the rest of my life. That just feels so cool. I've talked about it so many times, but I feel like it's like indicative of my culture. Moroccan women have like for literally hundreds of years used kahol, and it's like my version, you know? But for normal days, I don't want it to be like disingenuous of me to like wear no makeup and then all of a sudden the one day I do pop out wear like a boatload of makeup. If you heard me stop myself, I'm cursing. So I think I've whittled it down to like a pretty good routine. Basically, that was a really long story for me to say that I want to find kind of like my version of, oh, this is like subtle, but not so subtle makeup, somewhere in between lelasophia classic smoky eye and absolutely nothing. So I figure while we're here, we can do a little chit-chatting because I kind of feel like I have some thoughts, some wish list item thoughts, because I just told my mom, like, I guess nobody probably understands that I do this. This is maybe embarrassing that I shouldn't tell people, but like, I have literal spreadsheets on my collection that is behind me. I have literal spreadsheets. I have a tier list of like, okay, will never be sold, exhibit A, possibly might think of selling, archiving, or okay, girl, it's being listed on Vestiaire. And so starting out with my makeup, and so basically I kind of feel like I've gotten to a really good place of, I tried to sell 4 Say Beauty highlighter. I tried to sell 4, 1 got rejected, sadly, so the Real will take it because they usually take everything and I got it from them to begin with. I tried to sell 4 bags to my Teresa. They only ended up accepting 3, which is totally fine, but I sold them my red ascot bag, I'm sorry, which is so pretty. And then I was like, Actually, like I have my mom's black one. I don't have it, but my mother has the black ascot velvet bag. And if for whatever reason I'm ever like going to a wedding or going to something fun, that's such an occasion event bag that I figure I can just, you know, we can try a mother-daughter sharing thing because we never do that normally. So this is my attempt at being like, wait, but your mom owns this bag. Why don't you just share? So that was my reasoning of being okay with selling that beautiful red bag. And I got more for it than I paid, which is always great. And what was the other one? My Bottega Veneta shoulder pouch, I got basically the same amount that I paid, which is crazy because I purchased that 4 years ago. And I'm sure there are videos of me on record saying that that's my favorite bag ever. It is such a good bag. I've only worn it, I think, twice over the last like maybe 2 years. And so sadly, she had to go on the list. And what was the last one? Oh, I know this one is also kind of sad. My Abby bag was one that I really truly ummed and ahed about because, ooh, sorry, interrupting myself. This is the Sephora contour stick in the shade Fair to Light because it's like a true gray. And I'm finding that I actually really prefer this to the Westman Atelier biscuit shade because it kind of blends in better. I don't know if it's just my skin tone, but we know that I love like true gray makeup. So I promise, give it a second for it to look less scary. Anyways, my Abby bag is truly one of my favorite bags of all time. But then I thought back during my old videos, which I should probably do another one of. I've done like top 10 bags in my collection, the 10 bags that I would never sell. I should look back and see if that's been true or not. Or my 10 favorite bags or whatever. And I always chose my Signet bag instead of my Abby bag. And then when I compared a year ago, exactly almost, as soon as the Peggy bag came out, I immediately said, and I still stand by, I've said that before, I still stand by my own thoughts, that the Abby is basically the Peggy, but the Peggy is better. And it's not like the Abby is bad, but she definitely does not fit a lot. For example, the Abby bag fit about 30% less than the 90s bag, and it's about 30% bigger in silhouette. So make it make sense. And we're being ruthless these days. And it's not, you know, Lou said something like this, and I was like, exactly. Like, I want to be like, I'm always going to be a collector, right? So like to a lot of people, it's probably very excessive what I do collect, but I want to still be like grounded and realistic. And so I just don't want to over collect basically. So I do feel like I just bought some of my literal dream bags, the Peggy and the Margot, and my 90s Python, like round 90s. Oh my God. Those 3 bags have basically been it. And my Chanel Lizard bag. Ooh, and then a bag that I'll end with us today doing. And you guys just saw in the, you know, a couple videos ago, like the bags I truly wear every day. That's really my rotation. And so if there are things that I'm not wearing, I'm like, okay, let's allocate those funds into something else. I just don't want to have too much of excess, if that makes sense. And it's not even for space. It's not even for funds, but it's definitely mostly, you know, mostly for just like wanting to be conscious and curatorial and make sure thank you. I got had such a lovely conversation with someone about like, again, what I've been talking about on my channel for so long, Fenty Beauty. Ooh, this is in the shade Pinky Promise. So pretty. Little cream blush. I just want to make sure that I'm not being overly excessive, I think. And so I counted, and I think over the last couple months, I was like, okay, Sophia, 42 bags is absurd. If I can get my collection down to about 30, I would love that. And I've sold 4 over the last 2 months. And so what's that math, Sophia? I'm at 38. If I could find 5 to 8 more bags to sell, I think that would make me very happy. And then I would feel more justified. The point of me saying all of this, I would feel more justified to continue adding to my wish list, which that will be the more fun part that we'll talk about in 1 second. But the bigger bags, not the bigger as in size, the bigger as in like substantial cost-wise, but also just like quality-wise, and kind of big as in they really just work well for my life, hopefully forever. The bigger bags, quote unquote, I think I should be funneling my, you know, smaller, adorable, perfect, yes, could I have used the Abby bag for the rest of my life? Probably. Would I have loved it for the rest of my life? Probably. But yeah, I'm trying to be conscious, basically, is what all of that was meant to say. I'm getting even closer to you guys. This is Victoria Beckham in the shade Pearl. So the more fun part to talk about is what are said bigger bags on my wish list. I did not realize how much I was right about wanting the Row Nubuck large, specifically Park Tote in black. If we recall, that was my #1 birthday wish list item, and then those 2 Chanel bags, vintage of course, just like perfectly popped up on the Real, and I was like, ooh, the Park Tote will always be there. This beautiful suede Chanel vintage medallion tote and exotic lizard camera bag are not always going to be here. In fact, I have not found one other suede medallion tote, if you can believe it. And let me just like make sure everything is bloop, 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 blended in. And you can always, even if for some reason they stop selling them, like I found multiple Nubuck black totes on the Real on every single stockist basically, so like that's fine. My hair looks crazy because I just straightened it. Obviously, I actually forgot to mention that. Excuse the little baby hairs. Anyway, so long story long, that I feel like could easily be back on my wish list. But then I was like, is that urgent? Not really. But unless I start traveling more, which I think I will start traveling more, so maybe it is more urgent than I'm even thinking it is. But you know, again, it's always going to be there, I think is what I'm thinking. And so that is definitely on the list, I think. It is so good. This is going to sound so silly because I know I said this in my last video, but to be more succinct with my thoughts, the totally different styles, totally different functions. I know that this is going to make barely any sense. But if the Park Tote large, I'm thinking of it truly as like a weekender travel. Also just like, I would take it to the gym. I would take it on my stroller walks with Matisse. I would take it on a train. I would smush it. I would make it really, I would really make it a beater bag. The only difference in what I'd consider getting the Row Idaho and canvas bag is that it's a shoulder versus a top handle carry. I think they both probably hold, I'm sure the Park Tote holds a bit more, but maybe they hold a comparable amount. I don't know. If anybody has both, you can weigh in. Actually, I know somebody has both, so thank you if you if you don't mind weighing in. I would love that. Basically, I need a beater everyday bag because somebody has gotten very precious and the most insane, highest quality, best leather ever. I want to still beat up those bags. Don't worry, Margot will be beaten up. But sometimes I get that it's not fully appropriate to wear my Margot to the gym. So that's my reasoning behind that. Then there's the question, let's move on to the eyes, shall we? And then there's a question of if I want a Marlowe, okay? That is the biggest question because this Margot behind me right here just feels so me that I'm like, why would I get a Marlowe? Because it's basically the same exact function, you know? And so again, I think the only question that I would have for myself is whether I would want a Marlowe 14. And again, there's the question of grain leather versus smooth leather. It's kind of very confusing. So if anybody has both, do you need, not like, again, we all could need energetically, but do you wear your Marlowe versus your Margot for different occasions? Do they have like weird, subtle different functionalities that I'm not like anticipating or don't understand quite yet? Or are they really like pretty much the same bag? Because if they're pretty much the same bag, then like we're being silly. But at the same time, I am like really building up a bit of a credit on my Teresa. So, you know, I'm just saying I could definitely have a little fun at some point soon. And then I think what the realistic answer to myself is that I have already heard mutterings that the summer collection from the row is just going to be elite. And I'm realizing right now that these are all bags from the row, and I feel like I should do it. This is not for this conversation. I'll do an entire other video on this, but like, it's definitely the direction that we're still heading in, because nobody has quality like that. And I just really like that feeling. And I really just like the way that the bags wear. We're going in with the Victoria Beckham Victoria palette. I'm gonna do this black shade for my under eyelid, for my lower lash lid, sorry, let me be technical. So, sue me, I still want to buy bags by the row. And I'm sure I could easily add in that, yes, maybe I'm like almost getting ready to want a vintage jumbo Chanel. Suede would be amazing. Or some type of fun thing. But do I need that? Absolutely not. So yeah, that's my question. Basically, I will probably end up waiting because it's only now like 2 more months exactly until the summer collection comes out. Waiting for that. I know Agnes size 15 is coming out slowly through stockists. That's kind of interesting. Although I just think that the Agnes does not look very good on me, but maybe the 15 will. So you don't ever really know. And yeah, I guess I'd love to hear from you guys if anybody else is like experiencing this weird phenomenon where like once you go the row you can't ever go back, because that's what I'm experiencing. I do spritz before I put my top eyeshadow on. Okay, hi, I'm back. Sorry, my face is probably still drying, but we gotta get on with this. Basically, yeah, I guess those are my updates in what I've been feeling lately. And sorry, I was probably just blocking that, what I've been feeling lately. I just realized there was probably some black on this brush from last time. So I guess we're not going subtle at all right now. Yeah, those are my thoughts. I kind of feel like I want to do a purge right now. I feel really in the vibe of purging, which it's springtime. Maybe it's just what's happening in my, in my brain, in my life. Trust me, I've purged. You have no idea the amount of things that I've gotten rid of in my home, like my bed, like crazy. So maybe that's just me. Maybe God is telling me to make space for something, and I love that for me. So I just go with my gut pretty much, and I try really hard to do that all the time, but it's now spilling over to my bag collection, and like, you should make room for something, Sophia. So I'm doing that for some reason. By the way, I'm kind of just mixing these two, the sparkle and the black shades. That's what I'm doing, and that's what I've found to be very just like easy, perfect, and it looks crazy before mascara goes on, but trust the process. But yeah, that is, sorry, how many times have I said that? That is my thoughts, and I feel like I just need to be super honest because I know I'm not the only one, obviously. I've seen so many people, like literally, not to like, I don't think this is like a call out, but oh my God, by the way, exactly. One of my most favorite, brand new, crazy, like killing it, brand new vloggers is named Medallion. And my God, he is incredible at what he does. He just started, but also he's a wedding photographer. So like he clearly has experience in production and it's amazing. I say this, let's go in with my signature inner corner. This is in the shade Whatevs, so funny, from Ulta Beauty. Can we see that? And this is what I've just been putting in my inner corner every day, and I love it forever. And when I do a more dramatic eye look, I also put it more dramatically on my inner lid, and that's that. Okay, so Medallion, I had never heard of him before his first, maybe like 1, 2, 3, like somewhere within the first 3 YouTube videos. I had never heard of him before, and it was a recommended video on my you know, my YouTube For You page. And I was like, who is this genius killing it right now? Like, what? Turns out he's like totally massive on TikTok. And again, is a wedding photographer, so clearly like just has the like eye, has an amazing eye, and his vlogs are so calm and beautiful and aesthetic, whatever. So I've been obsessed with him and following him. And just yesterday, I believe, well, I don't know when it was, but yesterday he posted that he sold his Bottega Andiamo bag and got the Marlowe 17 in smooth black leather, stunningly gorgeous. And just got, my mother had this bag, got the Alley bag in grained leather, which is kind of just like a circular bag, almost like a half moon, where it's a circle, but then, you know, there's like a little dipped part, which is the actual pouch of the bag. Perfect bag for him. And he's a Margot guy. Is there anything else that he has? And then 2 Birkins and 1 Kelly. Not me knowing his collection back to front. That's insane. Clearly, I like to study, guys. I'm very studious. His vlogs are so incredible. And he also has just been saying, everything that he posted yesterday was like, yeah, like, it's really hard. Or he wasn't saying this, but I was just assuming that he's like, yeah, I wasn't feeling my Bottega bag anymore. I think he might still have one more small Andiamo. But I just am feeling like it's not just me. So please tell me if I'm like insane. Who the second you like discover the true magic of the row and the quality and the functionality, it's like very difficult to go back. And that's what I'm experiencing. And so I'm really sorry if I'm being like so annoying. This is not, actually it's somewhat, well, this is two part, because I'm gonna tell this story every single time I talk about it. 3 years ago and change, whatever, 3 years and 3 months ago, if we're being very specific, when I bought my Kelly, I've said this story 18 million times, but I think it's relevant. I remember telling my friend, he actually was very kind and he works in the fashion industry, and I was like, oh my God, burgundy or blue or black? And he helped me and it was so kind. And he was like, but what do you do after you buy an Hermes bag? And I was like, you buy just the row. Like, I literally remember being like, I'll probably just collect the row from now on. Subtle foreshadowing. That was over 3 years ago, and I had already owned 2 or 3. I was on my 3rd bag by the row. My mom was deep into her collection at that time, and I was like, probably just buying the row bags. It's just that it was so much less known then, and it was so much more cult following-ish. Not that it's bad that it's gotten so popular at all, the opposite, in fact. And so now that we have so much more access, and I think that the row has so much more access, they're producing so much more. I truly feel, I stand by what I've been saying, that there's just so much more stock. They're bringing back bags so much more often than they ever did. It seems like the best opportunity and timing for us to be like true collectors. And so those are my thoughts. Basically nothing as of right now, which I feel really good in. We'll end this whole vlog by me yapping very briefly, because this was not brief at all, yapping about how much I'm obsessed with like my little everyday fun bags, and currently this beautiful Obi bag from Japan that I just got. Clearly I made a choice that this gold one is going to be mine, and I will try to source one that's very similar, I promise. But one is going to drop on the website. I'll show you again. We'll end with that. And other than my cute little fun everyday totes, like my Hermes Forte 2 bag, my Celine vertical cabas tote, you can't understand how many times a day I wear that bag. That pretty much comes with me every single place I go. Other than those, she doesn't need anything, and she's really good. And then eventually, if, again, as always, if the craziest deal happens, or if the Idaho bag gets dropped in beige, I would be very tempted by that. Or if, like, I just saw a large nubuck black park tote sell for like $1,200-$1,300 on the row. Those are the 2 that I have my eye on, basically. And then the only one that I need help with is figuring out if one cares about getting a Marlowe. Not if one cares about, of course, in a perfect world, we'd all love to have whatever we want. Basically, if it's necessary in a collection that newly acquired a Margot, if a Marlowe is worth it. and if I should consider one of the larger sizes, like even maybe the 17 ingrained leather, because listen, we're not there yet to get the smooth leather. Basically, if I should be considering either of those, or like, girl, enjoy Miss Margot, who we have yet to name, and just chill for a while. That's basically what I had to say, that I hope we've followed with. I don't know. Essentially, I kind of just want everybody's thoughts of how we're feeling, because I feel like I'll never be that person, well, which is not a bad thing, I swear. No, I'll never be that person that like sells my entire collection at once, but I have sold my entire collection whole over multiple times. And so I clearly am just like really in a purge era right now. And I think I maybe even stopped myself or didn't finish this train of thought, but I am just really grateful for my subscriber who's commented. We had like such a lovely conversation that was like, these things sound really stupid and really frivolous, and I feel like I just always say that I feel like pretentious when I talk about them, but then you're like, we live in a physical plane, you know? Like, not to be esoteric and whatever, but like we really do live in a physical world, and we should take advantage of that, and not for, you know, physical materiality's sake, but these things help us align our inner selves with our outer selves. That's truly how I feel, and I've talked about that obviously. But having, you know, having somebody else also say that is really helpful and be like, no, but like we live here on Earth right now, you know? We have access to these things. We weren't, you know, for whatever weird reason, we weren't born a dinosaur, you know? I wasn't born, insert random animal here that like doesn't use physical material objects. How much would birds love bags? That is such a funny concept. There are animals that I feel like would love material things. So like, that was so random. I'm telling you, I'm constantly sober. My normal thoughts are always high thoughts, and it's great. Wouldn't birds love to collect things? They collect so much. Even more of a reason. We should feel so lucky to be able to collect things. And so allowing these beautiful things to make us more aligned outwardly with our inward selves is where my story, and I'm gonna stick to that, okay? Where I'm landing. And I love you guys. This is the final little makeup look. And it's just my everyday, or not my everyday actually, it is my go-to. And we're gonna ignore my little breakouts because that's what the vibe is giving right now. I think my body is literally adjusting to me getting back to working out. That's what I think has been happening. And there we go. Okay, I'll end with showing you tonight's outfit, maybe this afternoon's outfit. And I love you guys. That's basically, yeah, that was a lot. God, I just stole Matisse's bone for 1 second to try to get this last shot. Okay, so outfit example. Like, first of all, we'll just ignore my baby hairs again because my hair looks crazy. I need to re-oil it. I'm just wearing, which you cannot tell in the light, of course, my Zara dress top, which I would take off my jacket, my newly done makeup, and then like this crazy pop of gold with these little kitten heels. Do we like it? Let me not try to get the couches. We're like nearing the time that we need to replace our couch. Anyways, so this is mine now, I think, this bag. But I promised you guys, and I still promise you guys, that this, like, stunning, is going to go up on the website, like, literally right now. This is stunningly gorgeous. Another vintage Japanese kimono made into a bag called an obi bag. Like, oh my God. This is beautiful. I could be convinced to keep this one. Uh-oh. Which one do I need? Okay, well, let me debate. But basically, she's adorable. She's lightweight. I'm literally going to put this on the website right now. So I'll link her down below. Look at me being professional. Okay, this has been a unexpectedly long vlog, but I hope we're enjoying it. Let me know. And I love you guys. I will see you in Sunday's video, hopefully.